We're talking about the General Motors 5.3 and other engines with the oil O-ring issue, where you're losing oil pressure. Just as a very short video, wanted to show you the difference between them actually. This is a 2011 Silverado 5.3 liter, 125,000 miles, and my oil pressure was, when it was purchased as a secondhand truck, was around, on a cold, high pressure situation, about close to 50 PSI. As the engine got older, at close to 125,000, I would have on the first line at 20 PSI hot and cruising the interstate. When I would come to a stop, it would drop down between 0 and the first mark, which is about 10 PSI at 500. And there was an issue, and I didn't want to run the truck any further until I investigated. No tapping, knocking, any problems like that. And the oil pressure sensor screen was also checked prior to all this work, and it was perfectly clear. I checked it a few years prior anyway when I replaced the sensor, so I wasn't expecting anything. The situation is, I removed the O-ring, and the thing to remember is when you get the kit number here is a TCS 45993 by Fel-Pro, same number used for Napa. The thing is, when you get this kit, they give you 3 different O-rings, and you have to know which one to use. From speaking with Fel-Pro Tech Support a little while ago, they told me that if you had the red O-ring originally, replace it with their green one. If it was a blue O-ring originally, replace it with a black. And they give you both in the kit. And I wanted to show, just in brief, what is going on. Here is the one I removed. This is a red one. It's still very flexible, as you can see, but you can see it's flattened out. It's flat. And it's flat even this way, it's flat. So I was like, okay, is there really that much of a difference? I was concerned. So I got the green one out of the kit. Here's the green one. So if I put them side by side, you can see there is a difference. Definitely a difference. So I was like, all right, let's take a look at the pump. I have the pump out. Make sure you put shims in here. These are 2/1000ths of a shim. Make sure that they're in there when you put the pump back in so that the whole pump body is centered. It's not to one side or the other, causing excessive wear. That's why those are in. I'm ready to install this now. Wanted to show, here's the original O-ring that we had. If you put this in there, you can see that it just flops all over the place. You can see it doesn't hold to anything. I mean, it's completely loose. So I was like, all right, is there that much of a difference between that one and the new one? Well, here's the new one. I can't even get it to go in unless I, pressure it and get it in there. Make sure I have to put lube on it, but it doesn't even fit in there easily. So there's a drastic difference in the two. I mean, it's amazing the difference. So that is where I was losing a lot of oil pressure problems, because it wasn't vacuuming good. The other thing, if you look here on this one, right here is a dark spot right here, and this is where it draws in. I was a little concerned on that, and I looked at the lid. The pump is all clean, by the way, at this point, but if you look at the lid, there's a dark spot there also. So both of these are dark, and this goes together this way, so they're in the same area, would indicate to me that it's not sealing properly. There's a little bit of a gap there, and I did put a feeler gauge in there, and I did get a 1/1000th feeler gauge to be a little bit loose. So I spoke to a GM friend of mine, a GM technician, Master Tech. He says that in situations like this, the new pumps have a stronger lid, so this problem doesn't happen because there's a warpage known on the lid. I asked him if I should change the pump, and he said the pump looks good. Coat the area real lightly with Permatex number 2 non-hardening. Extremely light coat, he said, almost non-existent. It's enough that it'll seal up anything there, and there's a little bit was up in here too. So I'm going to cover all these surfaces with Permatex number 2 very, very lightly. Also, on the backside where the oil exits, again, no gasket, so I'm going to coat that surface very, very lightly as well with Permatex number 2 before it goes into the block. It can only help at this point. So I'm on that project today. I will post videos as I progress, and a final video. Hopefully this corrects my problem. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like. I greatly appreciate it.